learners, the channel Unified Learning, and as we were doing Nelson Mandela, A Long Walk to Freedom from your book First Flight, let's continue with that. And we have talked about that inauguration ceremony of first black president of South Africa. Let's talk about the next point and what happened next on that special day. Mandela pays special homage to the freedom fighters and praises their supreme sacrifices. He said that these patriots have some uncommon wisdom, courage, and generosity. He also states that his people are much greater wealth than the minerals and gems of the country. He also tells that he has learned the new meaning of selflessness and courage from these patriots, as he also added to it by saying that courage is not being the absence of fear, but its triumph over it. Nelson Mandela also shares some gems of wisdom. He said that color of the skin. First, he talks about the color of the skin and being black or white does not decide goodness and superiority. He said that the color of skin does not tell that who is superior and who is inferior. Second, he talks about the twin obligation of every individual. First, the personal obligation of the individual to his family and friends. And second, he talks about the obligation of the person to his community and society and to the country. He said that every individual fulfill these obligations according to their circumstances and situations. Next, he talks about that the natural goodness is being showing love to each other. Rather than hating each other, the human being has the tendency to love each other. He has a natural tendency to love each other. Okay, learners, so further Nelson Mandela talks about his perspective of freedom. He said that his perspective of freedom kept evolving during his childhood. As a child, he thought that running in the field, swimming in the clear stream, and staying up out at late nights and riding on a slowly moving bull was freedom. But when he grew up, he realized and he wanted freedom of livelihood for his family and himself. But soon he realized that it was an illusion. He then joined African National Congress as his hunger of freedom was to make people live with dignity and self-respect. It was now greater than his hunger of freedom, hunger for his own freedom. Further, he transformed. Nelson Mandela's desire for freedom transformed him into frightened young man into a bold one, law-abiding person into the criminal in the eyes of law, family-loving man into a homeless man. But further he said that freedom was indivisible. He wanted the oppressor and oppressed to be liberated. He believed that the person who took the freedom away from the people was prisoned by the narrow-mindedness. He was prisoned by the hatred, prejudice, and was thus robbed by the humanity. Okay, learners, so as we are done with the lesson Nelson Mandela, A Long Walk to Freedom, this lesson was apart from Nelson Mandela's autobiography. Let's talk about the message he has conveyed through this lesson. He conveyed that freedom is an individual's birthright. Oppression is condemnable. It is a criticism, whether it is inflicted or tolerated. He said that people all over the world should be treated equally and respected. They are equal. Further, he said that love and compassion are natural and innate in human beings. and hatred is required. Further, he said that courage, courage is not being the absence of fear, but it actually lies in overcoming the fear. It helps people, it helps ordinary people to do extraordinary things. At last, he said that freedom is indivisible. This was all of your chapter, including the message also. I hope you all have understood. So, learners, keep learning, stay home, stay safe. Thank you, learners.